Hello everyone and welcome back to my devlog series on my game Final Exit. So we've been going through all the different blocks, pretty much sort of two every video, and got two left. One is Vanish single. Now before there was a Vanish block where, if you remember, if you knocked into it, so this green one rolled into it, they'll both explode. They both vanish, if you like, sorry. There's one called Vanish Single, which I can show you what it does right now. But as I always say, the name kind of gives it away. Something vanishes, and as it says single, maybe only one of them vanishes. Let's have a look. So push the green one. Bing, bing, bing. They all vanish, and the green one keeps going. So there's a chain reaction on the red ones, on the Vanish Single one, which you saw. Let me do that again. My adverts. Let's just go through that a little bit. So the green one keeps on rolling. It knows the next one is a block, and it's a Vanish Single one. So in the code, in the engine, it will say, well, the next one's Vanish Single, so just keep on rolling, because Vanish Single doesn't interfere with this. So this one, green one, will keep rolling. Check the next one. The next one, keep going until it gets the gold block. The Vanish Single one will go, if we go a few frames, we'll basically go, oh, I've been hit, as you can see there, because it has a on trigger, a collider event in the script. So when it gets hit, it goes, right, I've got to roll over, and I set off this particle system to show that I've sort of been exploding or vanishing, some sort of effect. It will roll over till it hits the next one or lays down, but it disappears or deletes in the meantime. So it wouldn't normally this block may lay on the floor and stop this green one rolling forever, but what this one will do is roll over, hit something and then explode, or roll over and lay on the floor and explode, disappear. Basically they all need to be knocked over, but these ones don't stay. So you can you could have 100 of these red ones all in a row, and the green one will just keep rolling through them and destroying them all. So if we go through, hope it doesn't break as I'm going through, little particle system. The red one rotates, hits the next one, disappears. The green one doesn't care, the green one keeps on going. This one's rotating, hits the next one, that does the same thing. Now this one here, as it's got nothing next to it, will just keep rotating to the floor, or along as it needs to, and disappear. Bing, there it goes. And the green one still doesn't care, keeps on going. Gold block hit, level complete. Simple. Bing, there we go. And maybe I'm saying a little bit over the top, but I'm quite happy that when I loaded this level, every time it doesn't work because it always has the JavaScript in game engine, but I've put the C# on it. Literally just dragged it on, updated prefab, and it works straight away. I'm really happy that it is. I'm sure other things are going to crop up wrong, but it's really nice knowing it's worked, because I've been putting this one off for ages. I think that's why this game died for a couple of years, because I was just too scared to do it. And I've started a few other games in the meantime which I actually want to get onto showing you them soon, but I refuse to touch them now till this one's done, because you end up having 2-3 games that are never complete, and what's the point of that? So I'm going to get this one done. So I might just show a couple more of this and then get onto the final block. Be a bit more interesting. Whoa, that's a bit complex. I'm not thinking about that one right now. It's too late. It's already 11 PM. Right, so this one, what have we got here? We've got a rolling one forever. So I can keep rolling and land here and knock that one. Bounce back. Destroy that. And the green one will keep going and hit the game over. But this one will roll into them and not do anything, because there's a gap, sorry. It will roll. So we could move that one along, or we could move one of them along. I'm trying to think if there's any issue with it. I don't know. Let's have a quick play. I'm sure it's pretty simple, this one. So let's give it a quick go. Let's get rid of this window so it's a little bit quicker. I'll try both of them, because I've got something in the back of my mind that's telling me something different happens. I can't think what. Excuse me. Let's push that one over. Should go along. Falls down, hits the little orange one, bounces back, disappears. Orange one. Yep. Oh, there we go. That does complete. I wonder if that's the same thing if... I don't know why it would be any different. I really don't know why. But it has made me think of something else that I'll quickly show in a second, actually. This should be exactly the same. I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't know why I've suddenly thought something weird had happened. But it's working, and you can move the blocks anyway, which is really nice. Right, okay, that does work. So, what was I about to say? With this Vanish single block, just trying to remember, if you say had, you know, like this one here. Yeah, okay. So even though these ones will vanish, will disappear, they don't do it straight away. They fall over, so you have the opportunity to do a chain reaction onto the next block. So if I was to push this one, even though everything will work, it's going to be a game over. Because, as you'll probably see, the green one hit the Vanish single, which will go into the gold block. It is level complete. Well, I've just contradicted myself there, haven't I? So why is that? Not sure if that should have happened or not. Let me have a think about that. Once again, you don't plan your videos too much ahead, things go wrong, but why not, eh? Everyone goes through this stuff. Excuse me. So I think the point is in the code, the way the game over works, well, this is a good opportunity to explain the way game over works. Game over works is, if the, there's a few ways game over can be done. Oh, I think I might go into a bit more detail later on. You know, the point is, you hit the goal block. If you hit the goal block and there's some other blocks that are still standing up, then it's not game over because you've not used them. Now in this scenario, when it pulls it, when the red one hits the white one, oh no, the green one had finished. Oh, that is correct. That is, no, the green one's still going. Oh, right. So has this come up as... No, it hasn't come up as level complete yet. Because basically the green one's still rolling. Don't like that. Matt shouldn't be doing that. And that hasn't animated up to... That's right length either. Okay, a couple of little bugs. First time we found some bugs that I need to make a note of. I'm sure this doesn't make any sense, but the point is the green one was still rolling. Now I thought I had code that checked whether a green one was still rolling when the gold block was hit, but if so, then it's not game over. Or it is game over, sorry, if the green one's still rolling. You haven't completed the level if something's still rolling. Now, one of the other reasons is why that script's in there is, say you had some chain reaction and some block was falling from up here and still falling, but another block over here had hit the gold block. That wouldn't be a level complete, that would be a game over, because this block is still falling and it will land and do something. Things need to have settled by the time the gold block's hit. Now, that always did work, so it makes me think this hasn't worked because of maybe that function isn't being called. Remember, or if you watch any other videos, go back a few of them, and I was talking about how any functions that had a yield return in them for the wait for seconds, if they weren't called with a start coroutine, they weren't being run. So it makes me think maybe that has happened. If not, I'm going to have to start recoding something. I really don't want to, because it's been a long time since the logic of this made any sense in my head. I don't even know what to look for. I mean, I'll probably just do this off video in a minute. But any functions still... They're not called functions, that's JavaScript, isn't it? Oh my god. Any voids, void light on... For one looks not block. There'll be one called like still rolling or something. It's been a long time. Okay. Roll any. Now that's the thing that makes it roll. Okay, I might have to admit defeat on this one right now. Roll onto fallen... Oh, I don't know what that means. I might have to go through some of these. So we found a couple of bugs. I might... Okay, I might have to come back to this one then. Before I start talking about the final block. What I'll do, I'll pause it now and go and have a look into this to see why that's happening. I don't know whether it's this or not. It's got the word roll in it. It's the problem with the rolling block. Whether this takes me 5-10 minutes and I'll be back, or whether it's going to take me all weekend, I don't know. But with the power of editing, I'll be back in a second. So, yeah, I've been trying to play around with fixing this bug, and of course, I came across another bug which I hadn't noticed. So I thought I'd go for a walk. The sunshine's absolutely amazing at the moment. Go for a long walk around the countryside and try and relax, and otherwise you get too frustrated about these things. Around the nice fields, seeing some typical English cottages and countryside. Try and relax the brain. So the bug I found, not obviously still got the other one to sort out. If that is a bug, I'm still not fully sure. Depends on the gameplay, but this one definitely is a bug. So let me just get rid of this window because it slows it down. So if I just, no, what am I doing? If I push the green one, the rolling one, into this Vanish single one, the green one keeps going and the red Vanish one disappears. What happens to the green one? Something very strange happens, and I don't know how. I've never seen this before. I don't know what's going on. Was it the code conversion? What's that all about? That green one should not do that. So, has that got anything to do with that red one being there at all? I don't need to make that actually. So we had a gap there, didn't we? And it walked in, it hit this one. Let's just get rid of that one out of the equation for now. Anything happen here? Is it going to do the same thing? So this time it bounces back, but before it didn't. So let's just do this again. So we had. So the problem is when this one is here. So the green rolling one rolls into it, smashes through it, and the red one disappears once it's hit the orange one. No particle system happens, which is strange. This green one, let's just see if the little, I know you won't realise what the output logs are, but I have a little log to know I'm looking at the next block when it gets to that point. So that green one should bounce back. I know why it hasn't. Right, so I think I know why. And I don't... Oh, the code behind it will be annoying. So there's a thing here, from what I recall, I mean, it's a while ago. So there's a thing in here that basically, first hit. Has this pause block already been hit before? If it hasn't, I think that green one would bounce back off it like normally when you hit one. But as the red one had already hit into it, the orange one's not going to bounce off it. But it probably should. I think it probably should, because the orange one hasn't fallen over yet, has it? So let's just... So normally the orange one has not been hit with a pause block, sorry. So the green one goes bing, gonna bounce off it. That's standard, that's normal. However, it appears as this red one is knocking into it and touching it, the orange pause block has its initial hit, activated, if you like, or the the boolean change. There you go, the orange one's hit. So this one is now activating its pause, its 1 second count before it rolls over. And as that green one is rolling onto it, going, has that already been hit before? Yes, so it gets confused. So actually that should have bounced back because that hasn't started rolling. So we need a bit in there saying if this has been hit but hasn't started rolling yet, this one can bounce back. That makes sense? I think it does. Which, oh, that sounds fun to code. Oh, it's not really difficult, it's just finding out where it goes. I mean, the code's getting a bit out of control over the years, and maybe this isn't the best way of doing it, I don't know, but I'm just going to add a little function for that, I think. So I'll pause that now and maybe come back in a bit, hopefully, with it working. So I've been having to play around with this little new bug I came across. And it's when, the green one knocks over one of these Vanish single ones, leans against the orange pause block, and it just hovers in midair. It's almost like it's confused about what it should do. So have a little play around with it. Bing, green one hits the orange one. Should bounce back, but it doesn't. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, the solution was in one of them. Right, so the problem was we were rotating right slightly to hit the orange pause block. We were waiting for the length of that animation, so we're still using this yield return. So we're waiting. Play an audio clip, and then I'm saying run the function pause bounce back, which means bounce back off the pause using the direction of animation, which is the other way. Pause bounce back, which I'm sure we have used because we've tested it. So let me just whiz along to that one there. And it should work like it does for all the other times. Why is it not? Well, there we go. We've already been through this enumerator. So if I just bounce back up to here. And we're not calling it in the start coroutine. So, it should be, just get rid of this, start coroutine. So basically I'd forgotten to go and put this one in, or I accidentally just missed it, in the code conversion. So, fingers crossed, this should fix it. So, let's just set this level up quickly. Bing, bing, bing. So, hopefully, instead of the green one getting stuck, it will know to do that pause back animate function instead of getting stuck, because it's getting called with the start coroutine. Bing, bing, bounce back. There we go. Excellent, works. Right, let's just check game over, level complete. There we go. Done. Bing, bing, bing. Excellent. So after lots of testing, trying to work out why I get a little bug on the game over script. And I've been trying for a bit, and I haven't fully got there, I must admit yet, and not admitting defeat, because you need to figure it out. But at the present, not entirely sure why. It's getting a bit complicated, and it's kind of holding up progress. It does need doing. I just can't figure out why at the moment. I mean, I think I know why. So, this one's been fixed. So when the rolling block comes along here, knocks into the red Vanish one, the red one hits the gold block. Now, we're going to get game over. This lights up and starts. Now this one, technically the green one's still rolling. I think it's because in the script it basically says if the green one is 2 units next to the gold block and it's still rolling, then that's fine because it thinks it's rolling onto it. But actually it's not the one that's hit the gold block, it's the red Vanish one, which is fine, but the green one's still rolling at that point, and it's kind of a bit of a grey area, sorry, if that's correct or not. I don't think it is. I think it should probably be like, as the gold block's been hit and the green one is still rolling, but the green one wasn't the one that hit it or something. I'm not quite sure. I'm not really sure on the logic of it, let alone where the code for that function should be. I think I'm going to sort of mull that one over. So I'll omit defeat for now, but I will come back to it because it's important, because, you know, it needs to work. Very rare, very, very rare this will come along, because there's not many levels with a red, I'll show you the red Vanish single one. But there are levels, so it needs to be fixed. You know, where there are, I'm sure I'll get it done. But it's holding me up moving on to other things, and I've lost a few days thinking about this. Plus, a lot of work on my day job has just come in, which is good, so I can crack on with that, which usually gives me a bit of a, you know, kick up the bar motivation to get back onto other things, you know. You want something done, ask someone busy, so, you know, hopefully that will help get me motivated into sort of, you know, getting things complete. So, I think the next thing will probably be, I think I might upgrade Unity and see what breaks. I mean, we'll still have this project. I'll duplicate this entire project. But, where are we? My scripts, my leftover JScripts that haven't been converted are here. I don't need all these. A lot of these are going to be tests. However, when I upgrade to the next Unity, 2019, JScripts aren't even read at all. So all of these will disappear. And any objects on here that have a JScript on them will say missing. And if I need them, I have to refer back to this project, you know, and add them in. So I think that's probably the best way. And there's so much stuff in here that's not needed. Really not half this stuff is. Most of it, you know, weird little shading test, little scripts with all assets and preview. It's very hard to know what's there. But again, we'll start removing stuff and see when it breaks. And I always have backup projects. So at the moment, I'm on my Mac laptop. I've got my Windows. I'm trying to work out. I might sort of port this over to a Windows build on my Windows machine, because I've got a pretty good NVIDIA card, and I should be able to do better capturing. So hopefully, I can have better, more full screen real-time capturing instead of this tiny little window here. You know, that doesn't really, you can't really see anything real time. At the moment, I'm doing just on the QuickTime player, which, you know, it's not. I don't believe it's done by hardware. Anyway, even though I've got a MacBook Pro, they're not, you know, they're not NVIDIA graphics cards. They're laptop mobile cards. So I think I might try that. If things break, they do. You know, we've got to learn. So I think next episode, get the latest 2019 on there, and well, I'll do that and record it and see how it goes. Until then, thank you very much. Stay safe in these weird times, and if you want to subscribe, like, any questions, any advice, anything like that, give me a shout, and I will see you next time. Cheers, bye.